There was an extremely viral video that went nuts over the weekend, and it's a little clip of an interview. This lady was she was part of the tech wife mafia. Okay, her name is Nicole Shanahan. She's the ex-wife of a Google co-founder and the former running mate of RFK Jr. Okay. Now remember when he was running for president, he had this lady who was going to be his vice president or whatever. Well, she was on this interview with this lady, and this lady, she looks familiar. I'm not quite super sure who she is, but this was on courtesy of Blaze TV. And this is 4 minutes and 21 seconds long. And I think it's important to highlight this because this is fucking insane. Everyone's like, oh, the Great Reset, whatever. It's just a conspiracy theory. This lady was in it and she's experienced it. Now, look, she talks a lot of nonsense here, but I think it's important for us to watch this. First and foremost, Mitsu, the Great Reset. Your thoughts?
Really? On man, I couldn't believe when I first heard that they were actually admitting to what, like, I read this because I didn't just listen to it. I read everything that she said where they were talking about Klaus Schwab and they were talking about how philanthropic work was, they originally thought it was to help indigenous communities and black communities. Everybody was like, well, that was a good idea. But everything boiled down to the Great Reset kind of coming towards just that climate change, redistribution of wealth. That's all it's just another term for the big communism. That's all it is. And for her to admit to it right now and just come out and say, hey, by the way, this entire time we were doing this to redistribute wealth, it's wild. That I would say like the gall of her to do it, but I keep thinking of Putin and Xi. Change we haven't seen in 100 years. Everything is in flux now. Everything.
I hate the climate change stuff with the we got to have your carbon footprint. Like, why do I need to measure my shit? Why don't, if anybody, it's all these rich people that are taking their private jets everywhere and shit, but I have to be stuffed in a fucking corner on an airplane. It's such bullshit. If you really want to do something about it, you need to do it at the higher level. Instead of using plastic, I don't know, for drinks, why don't you use glass? Why do I have to change my lifestyle? It really has a small imprint on anything. Nothing.
Yeah.
But all these people, they take private jets to go tell you how to change your life. They're all fucking fake pieces of shit. All of them.
Yeah, over the weekend, I saw this thing from Prince William talking about conservation and everything. And ironically, this guy has, his own royal jet. I just think it's ironic. I'm like, oh, you're talking about conservation and shit. You have your own fucking plane, Your Royal Highness. I think it's funny.
So listen to some of the word vomit that she has in here about why she did the things she did and the money where it went to and things like that. And Mitsu, you said you watched this and you read everything that she said, but just for everybody who hasn't seen this, listen to this.
But what happened around the pandemic is that this whole other segment, what I don't think many of the tech mafia wives realize is that they were used to set the groundwork for what was called like the reset. What is called,
I like how they call themselves tech mafia wives.
Right, like they have their own little group, the tech mafia wives.
It's usually not a good thing when you refer to yourselves as the mafia wives.
The ultra rich billionaire mafia wives with unlimited resources. But what will they do with those resources? Let's find out.
Consolidate power.
Well, more than that, they want to change. They want to change things, Flash.
Well, somebody in the chat got it right. What's the real carbon they want to reduce?
Humans.
By the Klaus Schwabs,
like the Great Reset.
The Great Reset. Yeah. They openly talk about this Great Reset.
Yeah.
So the tech wife mafias, I believe, were kind of being conscripted in many ways, and their money especially was being conscripted in to set the groundwork for the Great Reset.
Yeah. Specifically through a network of
NGO advisors, relationship with Hollywood,
Interesting.
She's
relationship
choosing
with
her words
Davos.
very carefully.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Going through and just thinking about what can I say and what won't get me killed here.
And their own companies.
Hmm.
So if you look at like who's on these boards, who hangs out with each other, how the culture of tech wealth works, like Silicon Valley tech wealth, and that small group of people
Mhm.
responsible for a huge amount of money and a huge amount of NGO
Yeah.
activity across the United States. It's a really small group of people, and it's a really small group of people making these decisions.
Yeah.
Cool. Name them.
Yeah.
Awesome. Like, that's awesome. Who? If it's such a small group of people, name the people. Name exactly who they are, name exactly what they're saying, and tell us exactly why they want to do it. See, it's really, really simple. Really simple. If you have names, name them. Go ahead.
And then completely blind to everything else that's going on and how their groundwork is being used to then enable these other policies, these great reset policies.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what this group of women doesn't realize is that in their haste, these women are all very busy.
Yeah.
They have multiple properties. They have tons of staff. They have staff issues, chronic staff issues. Their kids are busy. Their kids oftentimes have some health issues as well. A lot of them.
Isn't that interesting that these kids, these people with unlimited resources, and ideally unlimited doctors.
Oh, it's from all
money.
the inbreeding from the past. They wanted pure blood children. A lot of these elites did. Royal family has been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
As
Married
pointed
their
out-
cousins.
Good old fashioned Habsburger.
Yeah.
these poor rich women. That's right. I think that's the right way to say it, man. That's crazy. All right, let's continue because what she says here is spectacular. I'm going to speed this up to 1.25 times just so we get through it a little quicker. But how she decided to spend her money here, it's awesome.
Have relationship issues with their husbands.
So that, by the way, if you missed that, all the wives have relationship issues with their husbands. They're all broken. They're all broken people over here. It's all an act.
A lot of them have relationship issues with their husbands. And a lot of them themselves are like medicated on SSRIs and antidepressants and all of that because it's just
Good.
A lot of women in
Wow.
general, but
God.
Just throw them all under the bus.
huge number of women that are on SSRIs. It's crazy. I don't remember what the number is, but it's a big number.
It's honestly, it's amazing to see her just throw them all out. I mean, I don't know how long she's going to be alive for saying these things, but she's also saying something that we all already know. These people are fucked up.
But why is she saying it? Like, what is the point of coming out now and being like, all the tech wives, the tech mafia wives, we didn't do it. We didn't. It's almost like she's like, we didn't know anything. Please don't kill us. Please don't
Right.
come after us. Like, we're like all of you.
Right.
The
We didn't
fuck
know
off.
any better. We didn't know any better. It goes back to the fucking COVID shit. We didn't know any better. It's okay. But let's see how I want to get to the point where she starts talking about where her money went, because this is the best.
So, so it's chaos, and these women find their meaning through their philanthropic work.
Yeah.
And they find themselves, like I would find myself. That was my self-worth, was my philanthropic work, and I really believed in it.
Mm-hmm.
I really believed that I was giving Black communities a chance to like rise up out of oppression. I really believed that I was helping Indigenous communities rise up out of oppression. And now that I look
This
back
is
and
a
see
lot
how all
of
those
women in
grants were-
general. That's why you see like a lot of women that are so far on the left, because they all think that's like their purpose in life, that they believe they're changing the world
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
and making it a better place.
Yes. It's so built around emotion, compassion, right? That's empathy. That's the word, empathy. Or you're not empathetic, right? but then she had a realization here.
Communities rise up out of oppression. And now that I look back and see how all those grants were forming, because my version of success is those communities are actually uplifted.
Yeah. Not just more money pumped into them.
Not just more money.
Which
the
goes
problems
into
of the
people's
community about
pockets.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
because all these NGOs and such, they're not even sending that money to where you think you are.
worse. Crime in the community has gotten worse. Mental health in the Native community, the Indigenous community, has gotten worse. They will even say, the Indigenous community will even say that their biggest supporters in Congress have been Republicans, but yet they continue to vote Democrat.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that is this. It's like the whole model is broken. The whole model makes everybody worse off.
Oh,
And
there's that.
now we're contending with the freaking Great Reset that we're now
you
realizing is a
heard that.
terrible idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that many of
What's that?
She's doing the vocal fry.
Oh, that's what it's called. Yeah.
Splash's kryptonite, the vocal.
I hate the vocal fry so
in
much.
women, it's a vocal Leela. Futurama
Said
jokes
that
are
we're not-
terrible.
Here we go.
now realizing is a terrible idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that many of our climate change issues are geoengineering issues,
Yeah. Wow.
which is like at the end of the day, they always go to that. They're like, but climate change. And then,
Yeah.
that
That
was
really
like-
is the end all be all. Like, you have to let us do this because of climate change.
yeah, social justice and climate change, it always boils down to those two things. And it gets progressive women 100% of the time.
It does. It does. So
They care more about that shit than the money they pay in taxes.
Yep.
They will pay more money in taxes.
Maybe that's what people talk about. Oh, you grifters online, right? You right-wing grifters. If I truly wanted to grift, I would focus in on those two big things. I would focus in on climate change.
Well, the greatest thing is you don't actually have to do anything about it when you get in. Just like the student loan thing that they've used multiple times for elections. You don't even have to make. In fact, you can make them pay more once you get in.
Yeah.
So you can just say you're going to reduce it and get rid of it again during the next election cycle, and they'll all follow each other to vote for you.
You know what? Here it is. Here's what we got. Guys,
They love empty promises on the left. It's probably one of their favorite things. Empty promises.
I want to let everybody know, I will proclaim that all support today will go to climate change. And by that, I mean, it will go to the air conditioning in my house or Blabs's house. And that will ultimately cause the climate to change in our house.
What if you get gasoline?
Conditioning.
What if you get gasoline at a cleaner gas station?
Oh.
Is that not like you don't go to the dirtier one because you're saving a couple of cents? Instead, you go to the nicer one that's 5 or 6 cents more. And there's just less dirt in the climate because of that. So you're helping them.
Dang.
Great point, Flash.
Wisdom.
Great point. Yeah, very smart. And I see what you're doing there. That's good.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing to see, and it goes back to this idea of social. It says social justice and climate change. Those two things. Blabs, you've been around lots of women.
Wow. What a weird sentence to say.
Well, no, I'm just saying, why is that? Is this just a men and women thing, a difference between men and women, and then ultimately the men who get associated with it, or it's because they just want pussy and they're scared they're gonna not get pussy because their progressive girlfriend is telling them they need to care about it, and then ultimately, they don't want to lose their girlfriend or whatever. Is that what it is? The guilt?
I guess, I mean, ultimately, both men and women are led by emotion. One wants to save the world. Well, I wouldn't say, let me try it again. The women on the far left, they want to, help those that in need and whatnot. Okay, fine. But they're led on, emotions. But men are also led on emotions because they want vagina. So, I don't know. It's basically about the same. Yeah.
Well,
But,
the men are just going to lie to get it. So there's a little bit of a difference. So the women actually vote for the policy. The men just say they voted for Kamala, but then they voted for Trump.
Yes.
Well, no, there's a lot of them that voted for Kamala anyway. But besides the point, for me personally, I didn't really know a whole lot of progressive women in college, And even then, we didn't really talk about like climate change or any of that shit. Like honestly, it was more like, what do you like in music and stuff like that. Like even if they were on the other side of the aisle, I still like was able to have conversations with them. So I don't know. I've never really had this experience about the crazy lefties. It's always been online.
I have.
Yeah.
I've known 1,000,003 crazy lefties growing up here in Jersey, and oh boy, yeah, it really is like that. It's like, especially when I was much younger and growing up here in Jersey, fucking some of them were so like George W. Bush. They'd be like, Bush is a Nazi. We can't date if you're dating George W. Like not dating George. If you like George W. Bush, if you support Bush, because Bush is a war criminal. He's a Nazi. He's all this stuff. And some of that has carried over to today on both sides of the political aisle, but it really was that vitriolic even back then between like trying to like just being a conservative dude and hanging out in a very, very liberal area.
Well, we know that the Great Reset is indeed a real thing, as put by what'd she call herself? The tech wife mafia?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh my God, how insane. Care about it starts locally, guys. It starts locally in your community. Start there and kind of go from there. So, do you know that if you subscribe, you won't go bald? Just kidding. You actually probably will.